Well, despite the best efforts of London Mayor Sadiq Khan and others trying to stir up opposition and demonstrations against President Trump, the President of the United States receiving a warm welcome in the United Kingdom. President Trump meeting with British Prime Minister Theresa May in Oxfordshire, both leaders setting out to discuss terms on the Brexit deal. And by the way, her prime ministership is hanging in the balance. Earlier today, the president announced our European allies have agreed as a result of the NATO summit to increase their defense spending to meet new NATO standards.
Yesterday, I let them know that I was extremely unhappy with what was happening, and they have substantially upped their commitment. Yeah, and now we're very happy and have a very, very powerful, very, very strong NATO, much stronger than it was 2 days ago.
And joining us tonight, Christian Whiton, former State Department senior advisor in the Trump and Bush administrations. Christian, good to have you with us. And the president saying straightforwardly what was confirmed by the Secretary General of NATO. There is a new effort to raise defense spending on the part of all of the 29 NATO member nations.
All right, this could be a big change and one that's eluded previous presidents. It's not just Donald Trump who's pressed for this, but so did Obama and his predecessors. President Trump saying and others confirming that the leaders there agreed to spend perhaps $33 billion to $40 billion more. That could either increase the capabilities of NATO or provide us some relief so that we could focus our defenses on places, frankly, where it's more important, like in the Pacific, to defend against China, North Korea, or elsewhere against Iran. Now, the proof will be in the pudding. We'll have to see if they actually follow through with these, because they've welched on these promises before, and NATO may have to change structurally, but so far so good.
And Merkel, Germany, singled out for the, if you will, the Trump treatment. The president not in any way mincing words, saying straightforwardly it's time for Germany to balance its trade relationships, particularly with the United States, of course, where they've enjoyed a trade surplus for more than a half century.
That's right. There's a lot of pearl clutching going on about that. Oh, how can you be so undiplomatic? And all Trump did, both on the defense spending thing and with Russia, where you have Germany, who insists that there's a threat from Russia and insists that Americans make sacrifices that Germans apparently are not willing to sacrifice, for their own defense. They have this deal to buy cheaper Russian gas. All Trump does is point this out, and a lot of pearl clutching on one side. And then on the other side, of course, people who are deranged and hate Donald Trump say, well, he's the puppet of Russia. Well, that puppet of Russia actually just really called them out, tried to talk Germany out of a very dangerous economic agreement. And also that supposed Russian puppet has been arming Ukrainians. So a lot of big developments.
Well, the puppet metaphor from the left, particularly the Dems, appropriate for the childish, I would say, IQ levels of most of the people using the expression against the president. I mean, they haven't had the guts through 8 years of President Obama to actually confront Russia on anything, including Syria, and should acknowledge, at least, I'm sure, in their decency and, their standards of intellectual integrity, they should acknowledge that President Trump is cleaning up the mess left by President Obama.
That's right. A lot of people also saying, well, Trump, are you going to raise Crimea? Are you going to raise Ukraine? Are you going to raise meddling? Yeah, he'll do all of those things. But he has pointed out correctly that happened under Obama's watch. And that's at the end of the day, Vladimir Putin is not Adolf Hitler. He does things that are unhelpful. He's not an ally. He's an adversary. But he took a small part, significant, but a part of Ukraine and a part of Georgia to actually prevent NATO from accepting those as new members, taking the count up to 31 countries we are pledged to defend at our expense. And he, pulled somewhat of a fast one in Syria, too. All that it's taken, and this is where what Trump has done, not just with NATO, but also in pulling out of the Paris Climate Accord, in moving the embassy to Jerusalem, a long-term promise, the many other things he do. People notice this strength.
Very quickly, as we wrap up here, Christian, do you find it laughable that the same luminaries of the left in this country who embrace President Xi Jinping and China and its exorbitant, unbalanced trade relationship with this country, the theft of $600 billion in intellectual property every year, Do you find it extraordinary that there's not a peep about the relationship built, structured over the course of 3 presidencies that preceded Mr. Trump, that is Clinton and Bush and Obama, and absolutely, hair on fire reactions to Vladimir Putin?
Yeah, it's it's a tremendous double standard, and it's what the great, late Jeane Kirkpatrick, Ronald Reagan's ambassador to the UN, said is the blame America first syndrome. You have all these people who will think the best of our adversaries and the worst of our president, especially if he's a Republican, and I think that's what we're seeing.